Okay, um, grade 8. We are doing lesson 4, chapter 7, properties of similar polygons. Okay, polygons we learned in chapter 5. Triangle, quadrilateral, um, pentagon, hexagon, those. And then we learned this in chapter 6 and also in chapter 7. What does similar mean? Okay, so in this lesson, you're going to learn about similarity in polygons. All right, so similar, the symbol for similar is this sign. When I see the word similar, what should I think of? Dilation, scale factor, pre-image, and image. Okay, and when I see dilation, I should know that they have the same shape but different size. Okay. All right, how do I identify? If the question doesn't tell me, I should look for the prime sign. The prime sign tells me it's the image. Okay, without the prime sign, it's the pre-image. What else will I need? I will need corresponding sides and angles. So actually I should have said corresponding parts. But anyway, you need corresponding sides and angles. So you will do a table for angles and you will do a table for sides. On the table of angles, you're making sure that the angles are congruent. Here you will use congruent. Here you will use similar because you need to find the scale factor. Okay, so we will do an example from the book so that you see what I mean by that. All right, now we are here. So we're doing example A. We've been given two rectangles. Just because they look the same does not mean they're similar. You now have to do two parts. According to the definition over here, if two polygons are similar, you have to do this. You have to find the corresponding angles and make sure the corresponding angles are congruent. You also have to find the measurement of the corresponding sides and make sure they're proportional. For you to find if they're proportional, you find the scale factor. That means you divide the image over the pre-image. Up to there, if you do these two things, then you will say if the polygons are similar. All right, if the angles are not congruent, it is not similar. If the angles are congruent, then you have to do this. You have to divide the image over the pre-image. All right, please write this in your blue books and highlight. So we are here. We have two rectangles. Let me draw them. Pre-image, image. Step 1, you label. So this way you don't forget. Then I label the vertices with capital letters. Opposite sides of a rectangle are always congruent. You should know this from grade 2 and 3. All right. So we want to determine whether rectangle HJKL is similar to MNPQ. And they have done for you the angles. H goes with M, J goes with N, K goes with P, L goes with Q. So here you will do corresponding angles. corresponding angles. So you do pre-image and image. Okay. I don't know why this is. Okay. So we've been told to do H, J, K, L. Since they're angles, I put the symbol for angles. And we've been told M, N, P, Q. And you can see H goes with M, they're both 90. J goes with N, they're both 90. K goes with P, they're both 90. L goes with Q. So they are congruent. I put the congruency sign. Okay? After I do corresponding angles, then I do corresponding sides. Corresponding sides. Pre-image, image. HJ, JK, KL, LH. MN, NP, PQ, QM. Okay? Just like that. Now, I need to see if they're similar. So, scale factor equals to image over pre-image. All right. What is HJ? HJ is 7. So this is 7. JK is 3. KL is 7. And LH is 3. MN is 10. NP is 6. PQ is 10. QM is 6. All right. So I have 4 of them. I should have 4 proportions or 4 fractions. I will start with my image. I will start with MN, NP, PQ, QM. MN is with HJ, JK, KL, LH. Now I will put my numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. MN is 10, 6, 10, 6, 7, 3, 7, 3. Then I will simplify my fractions or change them to decimals. 10 divide 7. 1.42. And 6 divide 3 is 2. So already I will say they are not similar. Okay? So I don't even need to continue. Now I will say rectangle HJKL is not similar to rectangle MNPQ because the corresponding sides are not proportional. Okay? Or the scale factor, because the scale factor of the corresponding sides, the scale factor of the corresponding sides are not equivalent, or are not equal, or are not, yes, there you go. Even though the corresponding angles are congruent, the corresponding sides are not proportional. So for you to be similar, corresponding angles should be congruent, corresponding sides should be proportional. So let's write that. Very important. All right. For polygons to be similar, well, you wrote it already over there. The corresponding, you have to use the word corresponding. You don't say the angles will be equal. No, you have to use the word corresponding. So the corresponding angles should be congruent, and the scale factor of the corresponding sides should be equivalent. You should use corresponding when you are explaining. If you don't, then your answer is not correct. Okay? All right. You will do that. There's nothing else for me to do here. Find the missing side. So let me find a question that has the missing side. Okay? You should know what scale factor means. It's the ratio of the length of the two corresponding sides of the two polygons. Or it is the ratio of the corresponding side from the image to the corresponding side of the pre-image. Like that. Explain using vocabulary, using your own words. So let us do this one. Let us do example B. So the question says, find each missing measure. AB is missing. WZ is missing. XY is missing. How do I know? There is no number here. There is no number here. There is no number here. So there's three sides that are missing. So that is my first step. Missing sides. So when missing sides, we are doing B, page 546. So the missing sides are AB. So this way I know when I am solving what I need to fill in. And then on this side, WZ and YX or XY. W doesn't matter. Okay? All right. So here is where I will put my answers. Now I need to find the corresponding parts. But before I find the corresponding parts, this is my pre-image, this is my image. Okay? Now I look. Z goes with D. So it is DC and ZY. So scale factor, image over pre-image. So that will give me ZY and DC. So I will use this side, these two sides, to give me the scale factor. Once I find the scale factor, it will be easier. All right. So now we put our numbers or our values. ZY is 15. DC is 10. So my scale factor is 1 and 5/10. Once I find my scale factor, it will help me find WZ because WZ matches AD. So I will write WZ over AD should equal 1.5. Okay, I don't know WZ. I will put X over AD is 13 equals to 1.5. I will multiply both sides by 13. I will multiply both sides by 13. I'm going to use a star because there's a decimal over here. I don't want to confuse. 13 and 13 goes away. I am left with X. And then I do 13 times 1.5. I get 19.5. And that is for WZ. And I put it over here. Now, how do I know I am correct? The answer I get for this picture has to be bigger than the answer I get for this picture. This picture is smaller than this picture. So if I get a smaller number here or a smaller value, then I know I did something wrong. See, 10 is smaller than 15. So 13 should be smaller than this number. And my value here, we found, is 19.5. That is one way I know I am correct. All right. So I have found WZ. Now I need to find AB. AB. So I know that my image is WX. And I am looking for my pre-image AB. And I know when I divide these two values, I should get 1.5. Now let's put my numbers. This is 24 over AB equals to 1.5. Okay? So that means I will multiply with AB on both sides. Or I can do butterfly method. Can I do this somewhere else? I don't have space here. Let me do over here again. All right. So we have WX over AB should equal 1 and 5/10. WX is 24. I'm going to use the letter small a equals 1.5. This A represents AB, okay? All right. Since this is a fraction, make this a fraction by putting 1 over here. Then do butterfly method. Because you want to find this. Find A. Okay, so you're going to do 1.5 A or 1.5 A equals to 24. Multiply 1, which is 24, and 1 and 5a. All right, then divide both sides by 1 and 5/10. 1 and 5/10. This goes away. A equals, you get your calculator, 24 divide 1 and 5/10, and you get 16. Okay, so A is 16, and you go back to where you're supposed to write, and you write 16. And how do you check if you're correct? The answer here has to be smaller than the answer here. WX corresponds to AB. So 16 is smaller, I am correct. Now I need to find XY. XY corresponds with BC. Okay? So I will write XY over BC equals to 1 and 5/10. Okay? So I'm going to let me use B to represent XY. No, they told us to use M. M over BC equals to 1.5. The question told us, see? It's not me, question told us. All right, I don't know M, I know BC is 12. So M over 12 equals to 1.5. I can do butterfly method. I put 1 here. I draw my butterfly. M times 1 equals to 1 and 5/10 times 12. M equals, get your calculator, 1 and 5/10 times 12. You get what? You get 18. You box your answer. Okay? And you go back to your table where you're filling your missing numbers and you write 18. So they didn't give us units. Since they didn't give us units, just write 16 units. Because you're measuring length. There should be units over here. That's the correct way of you doing math. Okay? Otherwise, this could be centimeters, meters, kilometers, like that. All right, so now, there's 2 different questions. If the question asks you to check if they're similar, you have to find the scale factor of the corresponding sides. You also have to check the corresponding angles. If they ask you to find the missing side, you first get the corresponding sides, find the scale factor, use the scale factor by doing butterfly method because you're doing proportions, okay? Use butterfly method. Make sure you have 2 fractions. This is better. Do butterfly method to find the missing side, okay? So you set up 2 proportions. You learned this in grade 7. So these are equivalent proportions because the scale factor is the same. So this proportion is the same as this. Okay, that's it. So do the 1, 2, and 3 one time and solve these ones. And independent practice to check if you understand. Bye. See you on Sunday.